What's good? What's good? What's good, beautiful people? We are back in the studio live once again. We had a mishap the last time we were together, but we have rectified the situation. And we are back in studio with Miss Penny Walker to talk about her run for mayor of Stonewall. How you doing, Miss Penny?
I'm good. How are you?
Look, I gotta apologize
It's
and
okay.
thank you for coming back. I didn't want to waste your time. I don't ever want anybody to think that I'm wasting their time, but I appreciate you for coming back and giving us an opportunity to do this interview over again.
No problem.
Because the one thing I do want is for your message to get out.
Yeah, me too. And I need the practice, so it's okay.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So let's run it back and let's give the people a little background about Miss Penny Walker, who you are, where you're from, and what you got going on.
My name is Penny Walker. I'm married to Junior Walker. We got a bunch of children. And yesterday we found out we're going to be great-grandparents again. So we're excited about that.
Go ahead.
And I've worked for the government for 30 years.
Okay.
And going to want to continue on.
Okay. So when you say you work for the government, the last time we talked, you said you started at 14 and you were in the clerk's office.
At 14, I was in Long's Fish Camp.
Long's Fish
For
Camp.
32 years, I worked there, plus in the clerk's office.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were working at the Enterprise clerk. You were an Enterprise clerk, then
Stonewall first and then Enterprise.
Stonewall, Enterprise, and now inevitably you're out in
Clark County.
Clark County as a clerk, court clerk in Clark County.
No,
So-
I am a bookkeeper in Clark County.
Bookkeeper in
Yeah.
Clark County. Okay, so you're keeping all the booking
In the
and
tax
records.
collector's office.
Tax collector's office.
Mhm.
Okay, so being that you've been a part of government, you know the ins and outs
Right.
of what's going on with
Yes.
the city. So talk to me about your push for mayor and what it is that you want to bring to the people of Stonewall.
Well, I want to bring something in to spruce the town up,
Mm-hmm.
get something involved for the elderly, something for the children. Like I said, me and Junior has a bunch of children, and I mean, they have nothing to do. The best thing they can do when they come to Stonewall is look at our horses.
Right.
And, you know, they need something. They need something they can come in Stonewall and we can go do. We have Sunday lunch on Sunday after church. They'll come to the house and eat, but we need stuff that we can get out and do, you know.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that our audio was working.
Well, yeah, that'd be a
So-
good thing.
So we know we're good to go.
We're good to go.
Yes. So that's awesome. So you want to see things coming into the community. That's business, recreation for the kids, more community involvement. How do we make that happen? How does you coming into the administration, how do we create that synergy for community to come together and make that happen?
Well, you got to get out, get some money.
Right.
That's what I keep hearing.
Right.
Stonewall has no money. Stonewall
Okay.
has no money. Well, you got to get out. You got to get grants. You got to get with other mayors and see what they've done to spruce their town up and
Mhm.
do things, you know, and it works.
Right.
Because when I worked in Stonewall and Enterprise, that's what we did.
Okay.
And we spruced it up and we got it going.
Mhm.
And not only that, we need to get some drugs off the streets.
Gotcha.
We got so many drugs on the streets at night.
Mhm.
That's all night long. They're on the streets all night long.
Okay.
And I think we can figure out a way to stop that.
Okay. So I had Mr. Mangum
Mhm.
on the other day, and I asked him this question, and I asked you this question as well, about the emergency EMS, emergency medical services being in the area, and them having to come from Quitman or from Meridian to service the Stonewall area. Do we have any ideas on how we can possibly get something centralized here in Stonewall for anything that may happen, especially as it relates to the older or the elderly,
Right.
retired individuals in our community?
Well, we got to get out and get the town involved in everything first. We got to
Mhm.
start trying to get grants. We got to start trying to get stuff. Right now, we have nothing. We can't get anything in right now if with no money, with nobody willing to get out and try to
Right.
find stuff to bring stuff in.
Right.
And yeah, that would be great. And I believe we can if we'll get out and work for it.
Okay.
But you got to work for it.
Right.
And
Right.
I mean, I'm willing to do the work.
Okay.
I'm willing to try.
Right. And then some of your platform, reading through some of the information that you were pushing, you spoke quite highly about the volunteer fire department.
Yeah.
Give us a little background about the importance of the fire department being in our area and in servicing Stonewall.
Well, I've had parents, and both of my parents passed away.
Mhm.
And when I called, fire department was there.
Right.
When I called 911, the first people that got to our house was the fire department.
Mhm.
They was almost there before I could get there from my house, and I just live right down the road from them.
Right.
They're great. They come, they get up in the middle of the night. They
Mhm.
don't care. They don't fuss. You never see one that's mad
Right.
or fussing about having to get up. We had I guess a brother-in-law's house that caught on fire, and they was up and they was all night long
Mhm.
fighting that fire, and they stayed with him, and they, just kept on. And they didn't have to. They have families at home. They
Mhm.
have jobs they
Mhm.
have to go to because they don't get paid
Right.
for volunteer.
Mhm.
They just come out and do it. So we need to get more stuff going on with them too, because they're all about trying to help.
Right.
When I worked there, they was always wanting to get something together and do something.
Mhm.
And I think we can have some gospel sings out on the
Right.
ball field for the elderly, and then we can have some stuff for the younger generation to come
Right.
around.
Okay. Okay. So we're dealing with the current chief of police just coming off of triple bypass surgery.
Mhm.
I'm hearing around the scuttlebutt that he may be retiring.
All right.
So we have an interim chief in place right now.
Right.
What do you think would be a good positioning in terms of looking for a chief? Do you have someone in mind that would fill the position, or do you allow the community to play a role in saying, hey, this is who we want to be the individual as the chief, or does the alderman and the mayor just make that decision exclusively? How would you approach that situation?
Well, I think the community needs to be involved. I think
Okay.
they need to, be able to feel like they feel safe.
Right.
And they want somebody, to be there. And the one they got that's filling in right now, he's great.
Right.
And if he'll come, that would be a great outlook. And I have
Mhm.
asked people already. I've been talking to people
Okay.
about it, and everybody seems to love Don Moore, the one that's right now just filling in and helping out, because
Okay.
he's been around. He's constable. He's everything.
Right. Right.
And he's
So-
good at it.
Is Don interested in the position?
Well, I had
That's
spoke to
another
him
question,
about
yeah.
it, and he
Mhm.
told me, yeah,
Okay.
he would think about it. So
Gotcha.
yeah,
Gotcha. All
he
right.
seemed interested. Now
Good.
he could turn you down when you ask him again. but-
True. True. And of
Right.
course, that all comes with time, salary, the whole 9 yards.
Right.
It'll be, worth his time, efforts, and energies based on what he's already doing currently.
Right.
You see. So, knowing that we're trying to bring in good law enforcement and keep that on retainer, and you said it takes money, takes grants, it takes dollars
grants.
to make
Mhm.
sure that you have good salaries, attractive salaries to have law enforcement that want to
Right.
stay on board. Infrastructure and
Mhm.
development,
Right.
making that a keynote. We talked about that initially.
Mm-hmm.
So outside of the grants and things, because we talked about the wastewater and the utilities department, how do we help improve that? What can we do to help improve that situation moving forward once you take the position, if in fact you're elected mayor?
Well, you got to get out and you got to talk to the people, and you got to give them a reason to want to come to Stonewall.
Okay.
People's not going to come to Stonewall if nobody's out fighting for them to
Right.
come to Stonewall.
Right.
And we can get, the more we talk,
Mhm.
the more we can get.
Right.
If we sit back and we don't talk and we don't ask people and we don't go out and trying to get people in, they're not coming in.
Right.
And I think just boosting up our fire department, boosting up our town hall, just
Mhm.
boosting up everybody in there, the workers.
Mhm.
I think we can get out and get the infrastructure in.
Right.
We can get the people in. We can get people that wants to come into our town and do
Okay.
something. And the main thing is that our police department needs to work at night.
Right.
Daytime, we ain't got that much going on. But
Mhm.
nighttime, They
Mhm.
need to be on our streets.
Right.
And that's my main focus is them out on the streets at night. And you
Patrol at
get
night. Mhm.
the people to quit walking and getting in people's yards and stealing stuff out of everybody's yards and
Mhm.
everything. You're gonna have better people coming in and people
Mhm.
wanting to live here and stuff. Because I've heard so many that's moved out, just left because of the people walking through their yards all night long,
Right.
stealing stuff.
Mhm.
Just and they're just scared of them
Gotcha.
because a lot of them is high on drugs and they're
Mhm.
scared of what they might do.
Right. So if we're looking at beautification projects, okay, and we do have, we don't have many blighted properties,
Mm.
but we do have some. How do we approach blighted properties or abandoned properties that may be getting paid on the tax roll, but not being paid attention to
Right.
by the property owner? How do we go about dealing with that in hopes of improving the look of the community as well?
Well, you go send them a letter
Mhm.
and go talk to them.
Right.
And, if they ignore you, you can fine them.
Okay.
And if they pay enough fines,
Mhm.
they'll clean up the property.
Right.
I mean, it's cheaper to clean it up than it is to keep paying fines. And my thing is they send them letters. I
Right.
know they do.
Mhm.
And they do whatever, but they don't enforce it.
Okay.
You need to enforce it. If
Okay.
you're going to do it, if you're going to start out sending letters, don't stop because
Mhm.
they're never going to clean it up.
Okay.
You got to
who,
enforce it.
so who would be the code enforcement officer for that? Or
Me,
okay.
because I won't be the mayor.
Right. Okay.
No, me and Greg won because one
I
of
got
us
you.
is going to be the mayor. So
Okay. So
they would enforce that.
okay, I got you. But we don't have someone on the
No,
utilities staff or grounds
not
that
really.
would be, or code enforcement officer.
Right. We
Okay.
don't.
Okay, I got
Yeah.
you. Now, what other message do you want to push out about your platform that is unique to who Miss Penny Walker is and what you bring to the table as you run for mayor?
Well, I don't have a whole lot to say because everybody knows me
Right.
and they know that I'm true to myself. I'm
Mhm.
trustworthy
Right.
and I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do.
Right.
If I can't do it, it's not because I didn't try.
Mhm.
I'm going to try my best to do whatever, I can do.
Mhm.
And I'm a Christian person. I've been saved for 40 years and, the Lord is in it. If he wants me to get it, I'll get it. If he don't, I won't. So,
Right.
that's just the way I'm going on it. That's the way I feel about it. And,
Mhm.
and if the people think that I'm trustworthy enough to come in and be their mayor, I appreciate their vote.
Yes, indeed. Let's see here, and because I have a lot of questions I want to ask, but I don't want to beat your time up too much because I took so much of your time the last time, and it was a great interview. It was great.
It was good.
We covered a lot of good stuff, man.
We did.
I was disappointed when that audio didn't come through, because we talked about the senior citizens in the area and Stonewall being a retirement home and
Right.
and the things that you want to do to safeguard them.
Right. I want
So-
to help them in any way I can.
Right.
They're stuck in their homes.
Mhm.
They don't get out. They can't
Right.
do anything. And
Mhm.
the ones I've talked to keep their doors locked. They're scared to get out. They're
Mhm.
scared to do anything because they're old. And I understand that.
Right.
We need, and like we have a bunch of workers that's out and stuff. If somebody needs to take the garbage can to the road, stop and help them.
Right.
Help the elderly because they need it. Some of the elderly don't even have family.
Right.
Their community is the only thing they have in life.
Mhm.
Some don't have family at all. And I
Mhm.
think the community needs to step up and help each other,
Okay.
help the elderly.
Right. Okay. And another good point that you were talked about, because like I said, I don't want to miss anything because we had a great conversation and you brought up a lot of good things that you want to bring to the table. I don't want to miss any of that, because we're doing a reboot of this interview.
Right.
A lot of people might not realize how down to earth you are.
Yeah, I am. I'm just as country can be.
Come on now.
But you know what? I can go to up there in Biloxi to them conferences and try to get
Right.
some grants, and the
Yeah.
people like it.
That's right.
They don't look down on me at all because I've been there.
Because we're all from Mississippi.
Right.
Yeah.
I've been there. I've been to them conferences. I've got grants. I've done stuff like that. And, they just take me as funny. So therefore they like me more. They will talk more,
Gotcha. So another thing we touched on, and you gave me such a great response as well, because we talked about the demographic, black to white, and getting a voter turnout in response. Give me your talk on that, because you said you want everybody to come out.
Right.
You want everybody to get involved.
We can't get the black folks to come. I want them on the board. I try to get some to sign up for the alderman. I try to get some to come and just do, I need their output too.
Yeah.
I need them to help me if I get mayor. I need them to let me know what they're needing on their side. And a lot of them's like my brothers and sisters, so I'm sure they all going to have plenty to tell me. Plenty to ask me and plenty to say, hey, look, here you go.
Gotcha.
But I do. Even the ones I don't know, I want them to come and let me know,
Right.
Let's talk about it. Let's figure it out.
Good stuff.
You can't do it if you don't know anything about it. You can't figure it out.
Right.
But we can all figure it out together.
And let's talk about we're gonna close it out with this, because this is a big one too.
Okay.
That's a little bit with the infrastructure stuff, but on Woodland, that's where the fire hydrant got ran over, and we had a pressurized situation with the water. We lost pressure, and we had to do the boil water notice.
Right.
And of course our highways and byways, improving those. What are your thoughts, and how do we approach moving forward with getting those things upgraded? And that goes along with beautification.
Exactly. That's what I was supposed to say. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Fire hydrants need painting.
Right.
It don't cost much to get a gallon of paint, I mean, me and Junior can buy a couple of gallons of paint, make the fire hydrants but they look terrible.
I understand.
Our signs are old. We need new signs.
Yeah.
Our roads look terrible. We can do it.
Right.
We can get in there and we can all work together and we can do it.
Okay.
And I know people know me, and we will, they'll work with me.
Right.
They'll help me, get out there and do it.
That's
the main thing. It's just getting out there and doing it.
Okay. So let's give them your social media. How do we reach out to you on social media, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat? There you go.
Snapchat.
Okay. If you have any
my grandyoung has hooked up the Snapchat thing, so I really don't know. All I know is give me Penny Walker on Facebook, because I'm gonna get on that Facebook and I'm gonna look around.
Okay.
I like to check on people.
Right.
You find out. My main thing, I love to see the babies grow up.
Yeah.
I get on Facebook and I watch some babies grow up, because you'd see them, they'd be a little bitty, and then next time you see them, they's grown.
Right.
And watch them grow up on Facebook.
Okay. So
I
Facebook.
like that. Yeah.
So Penny Walker on Facebook.
That's it.
It's probably Penny Walker on Snapchat.
Yeah, and Instagram.
And Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. Is there any way that people can give campaign contributions to help you buy signs, and we only got a couple of weeks left, but
Right.
You have any T-shirts for sale or anything, or are you just doing?
I just have T-shirts. I'll give them.
Okay.
I got signs. I'll give them.
Right.
And whatever they want. I got some little pamphlets. I'll give them.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I just went and got signs, T-shirts, and pamphlets, and try to the people that don't know me, and try to speak to the ones that do know me,
and push them out there.
Get them out there to vote. That's the main thing. They got to come vote.
Right.
They can't just say, "Yeah, I want you in there," but then don't vote. You got to come vote.
And speaking of coming out to vote, let's close out with that. Give them the when, the where, and the how.
April 1st. I think it starts from 7:00 in the morning to 7:00 at night. Come to the town hall in Stonewall. Just sign up and go in there, and the ladies will do the rest. They good. They'll just bring you in there and they'll tell you need your driver's license. I know that much.
Right.
That's all I know that you need. That's all I ever need when I go in is my driver's license.
Right. That's if you're on the voters roll. Because if you're not
on the
registered,
voters roll,
yeah, you're good to go. And if you're not, you need to register to vote.
Right.
If you're just turning 18, you need to register to vote.
Exactly.
And then you're good to go from there in the region.
Right.
Ms. Penny, it's been another great episode.
Yes, man. I appreciate you.
It's been good talking to you. And I thank you for coming back out.
No
and
problem.
look, good luck on the campaign.
Thank you very much.
And either which way that it goes, if you win, we definitely want to keep you in cycle with what we got going on so that you can
Right.
keep the community abreast of what you have going on
Right.
outside of just regular city council meetings. If you want to come in and talk about it and we push it out to the public,
Okay. Sounds
we're
good to
here.
me.
We're
Yeah.
here.
And
So-
I'm willing to help Greg. If I don't get mayor, I'm willing to help him. We
Right.
just got to be willing to do it.
That's right. That's
That's
right.
it.
Yes, indeed. And look here, ladies and gentlemen, y'all know, like always, it's about health, wealth, and wellness. And we are closing out another great episode of Prime Time Talks. And we had a great conversation with Miss Penny Walker. And thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Yes, indeed.
Mhm.